Hello friends, welcome to my channel Bhunesh Education, and in this video we are going to discuss some interview experience of Genpact with Sourav Lohia here. So currently he is working as a lead consultant in data engineering in Genpact, and he is working from Gurgaon office. So Sourav, over to you. I wanted to know about your strategy and how was your interview experience with Genpact, and how did the HR told you about this vacancy, and how did they reach out to you over Naukri.com or LinkedIn profile over there? So yeah, over to you.
Sure. Hey, hi everyone. I'm Sourav, and I have nearly 4.5 years of experience as a data engineer. And I got to learn about this Genpact job from one of my friend, and he referred me for it. He specifically referred me for Databricks engineer, senior data engineer, Databricks developer. I within a week I got a call from HR, and she wanted to schedule. Uh, uh, I got an email first that you have to schedule your first round of interview. I scheduled it, and it lasted around 1 hour. Then after then, HR followed. I followed up with the HR regarding second round, and total two rounds were there. Third round was HR round. So uh, this was the overall process, and uh, because I've been preparing and I've been giving interviews from nearly 2-3 months back then. So I followed some basic a roadmap, and I mastered Spark. I brush up my basics and Databricks also, whether it's a Delta Lake or Unity Catalog, governance principle, data governance principles, and all these stuff. And yeah, some Python coding also and SQL coding, as well as PySpark coding from Hacker Rank and Lead Code. So that also helped me to clear the first coding round of the Genpact and other companies as well. So yeah.
Okay, so coming on the first round. So I hope the first round was like a technical round over there, uh, having the knowledge of Spark, SQL,
Yes.
Python, which is used in data engineering. So I wanted to know about your experience with the round
Yes.
one, and what were the questions and how you solved them. What was your approach around that? So yeah, I want to know about that.
Sure. So the interview. So first, they basically it was divided in four sections. First, it was SQL, then Python, then PySpark, and then overall questions related to Azure Data Factory and Azure Databricks, cloud storage, those type of questions. So first in SQL, he asked me about joins, ranks, and difference between ranking, dense rank, and all these. And there was one particular question like if there are two tables and there is no primary key or there is no common key, how we are going to join them. So surrogate key was the option, and what are the strategies to join to make us surrogate key? The prime. So basically, the focus was more on basic. If there is a query which is basically written in 1,000 lines and it is taking a lot of time, how you are going to optimize it? Uh, Correlated queries, how to avoid correlated queries, how you will be converting correlated queries to a join. So these type of questions were asked, and specifically, if a query is taking more time, how you will be reducing it time. So it has been asked in Genpact and as well as in many other companies. So I follow the basic thing that first, if you are reading a table, read selective columns only. So if basically in select clause, just put the columns which you want and filter out so that your data is reduced so that you are reading less bytes. And then if you are doing a join, try to do it on primary keys or clustered keys
Mhm.
so that's faster. And yeah, these are a few of the pointers that I pitched them. And one, avoid correlated query as much as possible. And to basically, increase the readability of code, use CTEs or temp tables or some sort of that type of uh, writing mechanism of for your code. So yeah, these three four pointers I used, and yeah, it was always basically they always like that answer. And apart from that, one more question that was really interesting was surrogate key that was asked in Genpact as well as in uh, two other companies, that if you have two tables and they are really long, basically they are really big tables and the cardinality of the row is really huge. Now you have to do the join, and after doing the join, it will explode to billion, maybe 5 times more the number of records will be there.
Correct.
So, and there is no sort of primary key in there, no sort of foreign key is there. So how you are going to do the in first interviews? First of the interview when I was giving it, I wasn't aware what to do in this case, but next time I got prepared. So yeah, you have to create a surrogate key, and on the basis of surrogate key, then you can do the join. So this was one of the question that stands out. Yeah. So overall, these were the questions and basic questions like removing duplicates, second salary, these type of sequels, windows functions and all.
Mhm.
Those were asked.
So, is there was any
And now
DSA
coming to
question?
Python part,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
no, no, there was no DSA question, but yeah, in when they asked me to write some Python questions, so yeah, they involved questions around list, set, tuples.
Mhm.
So these questions were there, basic different words in them. And if there's a string, if there's a basically there are two lists, now you have to zip them and form one single list, unzip a list, zip a list. So these questions were revolving around this only. If there's a string which is you have to make a dictionary which tells that this is occurrence of a alphabet in the string. How many times A is occurring, how many times B is coming. So this type of questions were asked. And in PySpark, there was one of the questions that they asked me that there are two data frame, let's say A and B. A has 5 columns and B has 6 columns. Now you have to basically make a third data frame which has both the basically you have to do the union. Now you write the code how you are supposed to do the union. So basically in union, your number of columns should be same, right? But Spark is an
Yeah.
option where you can union two tables with different columns. So that code they asked me, and they also asked me. So they were more grilling on the basic side. So they asked me that there is a table. So make a data frame. Uh, so they gave me number of rows and number of column schema and all. They I wrote the code and they asked me now create a data frame. So I was not reading the file. Basically, rows and data was given, column name and everything was given. I have to basically create the data frame using create data frame clause. Then you put data and column name. So that was also asked. Apart from that, there was one more question. And then they started grilling on the execution plan,
Okay.
skew joins and all those
Mhm.
broadcast, how you will be increasing the broadcast join, small partition problem. Those all optimization type of problem they asked me. After that, uh, we- uh, they asked me to write a code basically, and they asked me how many number of jobs will be there and why this number of jobs will be there.
Mhm.
And this was one of the question. Now they asked, and the other question based on this was that they asked basically. So same set of operation. First, it was written in two, 3 lines. Now, other set of operation, same set of operation was written in single line. So they asked me how many numbers of how many jobs will be there, how will there be a shuffling, sorting. So that type of questions were asked. Uh, as far as I recall, yeah, this was one of the trickiest question. And yeah, there's then database related question, liquid clustering. What is liquid clustering? Z order, auto compact, deletion vector, and what is delta lake, what is .crc and .json file inside when you write the delta table, why parquet, why not CSV. So these type of questions were asked, and memory related question, uh, spillage to disk, why that happens, and yeah, more and more these types of questions were asked. In terms of ADF, what type of activities you have used, and what is if you have to extract a table from basically a
Mhm.
RDBMS, then what are the different ways you can do that? So this was one of the question, how you will be implementing incremental load on ADF side. This was another question. And related to this, there was one more question to related to autoloader. So how you can configure both. So once ADF pipeline runs and data is landed in your blob or landing layer in ADLS, then how your autoloader will be triggered as soon as the file comes in. So those type of questions were there. And yeah, Spark optimizations. Um, these all were there. These were the questions that uh, they asked.
Okay, so is there any question like on PySpark coding related thing or machine coding kind of thing over there?
No, nothing related to machine coding or anything. So they asked, yeah, they asked if you want to design a data warehouse, if we have to implement a data warehousing, then what is your approach, how you're gonna do it, and if uh, so they asked me about multi-hop architecture, Mendelian architecture, which is what,
Mhm.
bronze, silver, gold.
Mhm.
Is it a
Correct.
is it a good approach for all the companies? Why
Mhm.
it is being followed? So they grilled me around it also. So it depends on company to company again. And also one more question that they asked about cluster size. What should be the cluster size? How you're gonna decide the cluster size? So earlier I used to follow a trick. So there is a video in YouTube.
Mhm.
Anybody, most of us have seen that they do it by dividing the overall file size 128 by
Right.
120 and then determining number of cores. And but I think that is not a good approach. It just looks good on paper, but it's not something feasible or something practical because
Yeah.
too many cores will going to give you IO issues. So these type of questions were asked. So first I showed them that this is the approach which I'm following, but this is redundant. It shouldn't be followed. It
Mhm.
depends on basically a use case.
Yes,
What's your
case. Yeah.
use case? If you want the output in 15 minutes, if you want to lower your cost. So these all comes from there. But the ideal thing is that your number of cores should be between 4 to 6 for the worker
Mhm.
and same for the
Mhm.
driver. And the memory also should be in the 16 to 32 GB of the range. And number of workers should be around 4 to 8. That that is more than sufficient. And if you want something bigger or something heavy, just go with the job cluster or maybe a photon cluster that will do your job. So these type of questions they ask, and also what is DBU, what is Databricks unit, what is runtime. So these things. And yeah, uh, 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 I'm recalling. Yeah, they also asked me about asset bundles. So this is something which is related to DevOps. So if you have to implement Databricks or some platform, a data platform for a company, so basically you need to make different workspace, right? Dev,
Mhm.
then QA, then pre-prod, or then this production. So how in Databricks you can do that? So that
Mhm.
type of thing that there are two approaches. You could have a different Unity catalog for each environment, or either you could have a different workspace for each environment, and you can give access, certain access on certain environment to certain users. So these two
Mhm.
type of approaches are there.
Correct.
So they asked me regarding it also. Yeah. So overall, this was the interview and regarding asset bundle. Even though I haven't worked on asset bundle, but I did appear for certification, so I was aware what is asset bundle and how it helps. So it helped to basically move your uh, from one environment to other environment, all your data related objects. So basically, it helps with your CI/CD. So
Hmm.
this was
Correct.
these were the steps that were asked to me.
Okay, so okay. So how will you rate like round one, like in terms of if you like to rate like easy or medium or
Mhm.
hard or like it is between medium and hard like that.
So I will suggest that what uh, out of five, I will rate it around 2.5 to 3. It wasn't that much hard, but yeah, it was tricky. They were grilling more on basics because that's what I learned. As compared to other companies which I appear, they were always on the advanced concept and basic, but they were more grilling
Mhm.
on the basics because people miss basics also. So
Yeah.
that's why they were checking on
So it is
basics.
like more than moderate kind of thing.
Yeah, it was more than moderate, but not that much difficult. 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 rating, I could give that.
Okay, okay, fine. And now going to round second. So in round second, what was the question? And like there were design questions or like that, because generally what happens, like if we are jumping from round one to round two, like it is like round in round one it is like coding question and like that because of screening kind of things over there. And in round two there are like open design questions and project related discussions over there, and deep spark questions can be there. So what was your experience of technical round two?
Yeah, sure. So my technical round lasted about 25 minutes. So he asked me questions regarding my existing projects. So I work for Accenture, and within Accenture, I work for two big companies. So they asked me, what was your role and what was the problem that you faced? So these type of questions were asked. So I was basically, I worked as a database developer only, and my role was to basically migrate from SQL Server to Databricks. So I explained him why we do it and how we were able to do it in the given time, and later on how I migrated entire uh, a module for one of the country to
Okay.
DBR. So I explained him everything, and then later on he asked me how you will design a CDC, basically change data capture, how you are going to do it. I said, I do not have any exposure right now on streaming systems, but yeah, I was aware what is CDC and what are the basic things you need to configure in DBR side, Databricks side. So I explained him, and I also told him that, yeah, I'm not that much aware, or I haven't had
Mhm.
hands-on yet, but I'm open to learn or willing to learn. Apart from that, he asked me if you have to basically migrate one if SQL Server is there or Redshift is there or some other cloud, some other warehouse is there, what are the things that you should be doing? What are the things? So I told him that this will be my approach, that I will be making first all the ingestion table, basically, or the source table or the bronze layer, then silver, and then gold. Then I also question him that I don't think this approach works because
Mhm.
most of the time in the raw layer, if it's a ERP or if it's a Salesforce, basically CRM or ERP data is there,
Mhm.
they are around 200 or 300 columns, out of which you only need maybe 10 or 20. So
Mhm.
expecting everything is painful. So I told him that I will be only basically uh, putting data which is relevant to me, even though is easy. Storage is way more cheaper as compared to compute.
Mhm.
But if your number of columns are more, it will take more time to process, right? Your data will increase, your size will increase, and ev eventually your cost of compute will go up. So this is one of the pointer that I suggested him, that I will only pick up number of columns which I need, because I'm filtering out it at the source so that I do not need to do it at the silver layer or maybe at the gold layer.
Mhm. Okay.
So this is one. So he liked it, but he was like, it will be take a lot of time because every ERP system has their own coding of columns. Like document number comes with different things. So I have worked on SAP data for more than 3 years, so I'm aware which 4 5 tables are there which are required to uh, make the sales or do the sales dashboard or daily sales report. So he said, "Ki, you have to basically do a lot of time, spend a lot of time to basically map everything." So for in that case, we can have LLM or anything else which can be used or leveraged to basically map the columns of ERP.
Mhm.
So we had a discussion over there, and then he asked that the dashboard or the final product, if you are basically DSR or daily sales report or something else which you are making, how many number of users were uh, viewing it, or how many number of users were basically daily, and how many numbers of ticket you used to get if there was an issue. Or so I told him that for a global FMCG company, it was somewhere around 40 to 50,000 all
Mhm.
over the globe. And so I worked for a pharma company for a short span of time, 9 months.
Okay.
So there also I developed, me and my team developed few of the one of the analytic product where every sales rep, pharma sales rep. used to get a WhatsApp text that this is your performance last month and current month statistics on their phone, on their WhatsApp itself. So I explained him how we do it, what
Mhm.
was the architecture, everything. So told him that almost around 10 to 15,000 people were getting these messages four times in a month, and it was 95% accurate. These messages were 95% accurate for, uh, I mean, 95% of people were getting accurate message. 5% of people were getting numbers. Basically, there were some mismatches in their numbers. So yeah, that was altogether a different issue, that data modeling and everything we needed to implement. So, but yeah, these were the two of the highlights that I discussed with them in my in that managerial round. So there was no coding or
Okay.
nothing sort of that. He just
It
asked
was
me about
more
my
of
yeah.
on the design side and open design things, HLDL and LD, like things over there.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It was more of the architectural type of the role.
Acha,
So
okay.
basic questions also he asked quickly, why not blob and why not ADLS, why
Hmm.
ADLS, why blob? These type of questions he also asked.
Yeah, so it was like a in-depth grilling of your project side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and apart from that, there was any more technical rounds, like round three or four, or how does it goes?
No, round three was the HR round. Round three was HR round. So HR was super. Uh, I will say she was super helpful. So
Okay.
I asked her for a number that, yeah, I'm looking for this number
Hmm.
because I was getting paid this number last year.
Okay.
Uh, and due to some reason, I had to change to
Mm.
an and had to join somewhere and took a pay cut. So she was like, okay, I will try to get this number. But then she came back that this is not feasible for us. We will be able to give you this only. Then
Okay.
I told her that I won't be happy if I join this, and maybe in next 6 or 7 months or maybe after a year I will start looking outside. Then
Yeah.
she said, don't worry, I will do something. She only basically gave a whole list of reasons for me to the upper management. And even she sent me the picture also of that email that these are the reasons that they should be getting this number. And then, yeah, then uh, I got that number, and that's why I done Genpact over Sapient or something.
Okay. So from your experience in Genpact or in other companies, like what will be the major focus area if anyone is appearing for data engineering interviews or planning to appear in 1 to 2 months? So what is the trend right now, and what is the focus area? Like more focus on coding or architecture, or like in Spark or in Databricks. So where should we focus more?
So I can summarize it into basically for two types of people. If
Okay.
one, because right now demand is more shifted to people that have 3 years of experience or more than 5 years of
Hmm.
experience. If you have
Right.
four, you will be counted towards three only. If you have four also or 4.5, you can make it to five. So if you have 3 years of experience, this is what I followed. You should master your SQL, your DBMS, and your SQL. Everything should be on your tips. What is DML? What is DDL? Because in the starting, when I was switching from Accenture to other companies, when I
Hmm.
was making my first switch, so I was rejected on these type of questions only because I was not prepared. I was not knowing anything. So these type of question, uh, what is rollback, which outer
Okay.
truncate
Hmm.
delete drop, which have rollback. So these type of screening questions that HR used to ask, and I wasn't able to clear them. So focus on that part. Then focus on SQL first. Then comes the Python, and in Python, if you have 3+ years of experience, then you should be focusing on manipulating strings,
Hmm.
list, tuples, set, and dictionary. These 4 or 5 questions are more than enough. A bit of knowledge on pandas and numpy will help. But yeah,
Okay.
don't forget lists, strings, and all. And after that, the PySpark part, I followed this channel on YouTube, Manish Kumar, uh, data engineering channel. So I followed
Okay.
him. Apart from him, I followed Prashant Pandey. So
Okay.
I uh, I did all the architecture related things, and
Mhm.
I followed everything. I did questions in PySpark also. And although if you're writing a query, if you're writing or solving a question in basically data frame API or in
Mhm.
Spark SQL, it doesn't affect anything. You will be getting same type of performance only. But because if you are joining some client or something, and they have a standard that you need to write code in PySpark or you need to write using Spark.SQL, then you need to be able to follow that.
Correct.
So to have some understanding of data frame API, but SQL and Python should be must, and SQL should be really, really good. And after PySpark, you need to have, if you're working on Snowflake, or if you're working on Snowflake, that's altogether a different territory, or GCP, or that is altogether. But if you're on DBA, then it will be really helpful if you know PySpark internals very well. And then comes the Delta Lake. Right now, Delta Lake will be asked to everybody, what is Delta Lake and why we should be using
Mhm.
it, and architecture, like why SQL servers were used, what is its history, and all those things. But these 4 or 5 topics needs to be covered. Basically, focus on SQL and PySpark and optimization, Catalyst Optimizer. These are major topics that were being asked to me. And around Azure also, if you are in Azure, then related to Azure also, what is ADF, number of activities, type of activities, how many parallel activities can we have, what is the default timeout? These type of questions were asked to me. And if you are towards 5 years of experience, I think you have already guided everyone. So I will suggest, yeah, focus on uh, basically on the designing part,
Mhm.
more on optimization designing part. And you should be good with your CS fundamentals as well. DSA and OOPS and
Yeah.
everything should be good. So, and if you have streaming, if you have worked on any streaming thing, then it will be a cherry on cake.
Yeah.
So this is what I have basically got to know because I'm also preparing for next year or maybe next to next year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who is gonna watch this video, but yeah, not anytime soon. But yeah, next year maybe I will be switching. So I want to, you know, at least have a certain
Okay.
percentage of hike. So for that hike, I think streaming is must to
Yeah. Correct.
get that number.
Correct. Yeah, streaming is generally asked in a lot of interviews. So what I concluded from your experience, like we can say Python, SQL, and Spark, and apart from that, Delta Lake concepts and Databricks. And if anyone is working into cloud,
Mm.
then any cloud like GCP, AWS, or Azure, so you should be perfect in that for
Yeah.
creating the big companies from
Yes. Yes.
there. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And by any chance, if you know
And
about
yeah, one of the things that I
yeah.
forget.
Okay, okay. Sure. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
Okay.
data modeling concepts were also asked.
Okay.
So like SCD 0, 1, 2, 3.
Hmm.
So these questions are unimplemented, how you will be implementing it. So those
Correct.
type of questions were also asked to me. Uh, apparently when I was closer to 4 years of experience, but at the 3 years of experience time, nobody asked me about these type of questions. They asked me what is fact and dimension, but they didn't ask me how you will be implementing SCD 0, SCD 1, or SCD 2.
Yeah.
And
Even in
so
the
these
first
type of
round,
questions were asked.
you were asked like surrogate key. So it is basically a concept of data modeling only. Yeah, so you
Yes,
are right.
yes.
Like slowly changing dimensions, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These kind of things are also asked, and implementation are also asked like nowadays in maybe in Python or Scala like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you want to add any resources or like primary resources for your preparation in maybe in if you are using Python or Scala or for a Spark batch processing or streaming processing or data modeling. So if you want to add any resources which you are using, it will be helpful for the audience.
Sure, sure. So I started with first I started with HackerRank for SQL concepts, HackerRank and DataCamp, and then I shifted to LeetCode. LeetCode has I think 50 odd questions together for SQL. It was back in 2023, And after that,
Okay.
for Spark related thing, YouTube and Udemy, Prashant Pandey search course. And so uh,
Hmm.
to practice PySpark or data frame API, to write code in data frame API, I used this Databricks cloud community version is there. So I used to
Hmm.
ba make a basic table there and do all my type of basically all
Yeah.
transformations there, group by joining and all, writing code there. Then later on, I shifted to lead code was permanent. Lead code. Then I started lead code for Python and
Okay.
SQL both.
Okay.
For uh, data frame API, I think there is one more website which allows you to write code in PySpark. I'm not able to recall its name, but
Data
I, I
Limbo.
will I will look from a yeah. I think Data Memory is that platform. So I practice there also. And for Databricks related concept, so what I did, I had an account from my company,
Okay.
so customer account. So I use that. They had a lot of videos in them. So
Okay.
either I go there or I purchase a Udemy course. So
Okay.
I use those. Otherwise, ChatGPT is a very good source. If you are
Hmm.
struggling anywhere, just put your stuff there and it will be helping you out. So these three, four things I use. And now what I'm using, I have partner access from Databricks, so I'm
Yeah.
extensively using it. So every time if something is coming in Spark, or like
Hmm.
Spark 4 is coming, or Databricks is launching something new, so first videos will be coming there or blogs will be coming there. So I have access to that. Apart from that, Udemy is constant, and I also took subscription of one of the website, Orally, that they also publish a book. So they have also good content around. You can access any books and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apart from that, I have a few books also which I basically go through.
Okay. Okay. So basically, resources are available here and there, and they are like free, and people just need to
Hmm.
articulate them and try to use them orderly.
Yes, exactly. Right now, everything is free. I think on YouTube, everything
Yeah.
is free, and there are communities where people are there who are willing to help. So it just there's a lot of distraction today, so you have to be focused if you
Yeah.
want to switch or want to get to that number or want to achieve that number.
Mm. And which are the AI tools which you are using for studying, preparing, or in daily routine work if you are using those kind of tools over there?
Yeah, so I'm using ChatGPT from last year. Since its launch, I'm
Okay.
using it. But since last year, I have increased using it. So it's really good to be honest. And there is a voice mode also. You can have a conversation with him
Okay.
with it basically. And I also tried DeepSeek, but it's
Okay.
China, so I didn't rely on it for data security and safety.
Acha,
Then
okay.
there is Grok. I don't. Well, I'm using ChatGPT actively in every day task. If I'm struggling with my basically job or some code or something, it, I just put I click a photo and put it there. It gives everything.
Okay. Basically, mostly you are using ChatGPT and DeepSeek and Grok also, I think. Okay. Okay. And
Yes.
what will be your suggestion for the freshers who are like in college, maybe in third year or final year, and they want to make a career in data science domain or data engineering domain? So, like they should try to read Spark from third year or final year. They should wait for getting a job, and then they should like applying the concepts of Spark and learning. So, what will be the approach basically?
So this is a good question to be honest, and I know we are part of a community. There are a lot of freshers are there, and they reach out to me. Bhaiya, this guy gave me a reference. This guy gave me a
Yeah.
reference. So to be honest, what I have seen that are in our colleges, you will be studying only basics, right? And
Correct.
as a student, even myself, I didn't implement it or haven't done that much of hands-on or haven't got that much of exposure that these are the challenges that I'm going to face. So problem with them is that it is fancier now that data engineering is a buzzword right now. In
Yeah.
our time, data science was there. It was a
Yeah.
really big buzzword, and
Correct.
over a period of 5 years, it has somewhere depreciated. And I
Hmm.
think in coming years, AI engineer is gonna be a boom. AI or Gen AI engineer is
Yes.
gonna be a boom.
Yeah.
So to the people who want to make into data engineering side, focus first on your fundamentals, DBMS, RDBMS,
Hmm.
and then your SQL should be good, and basic concept. Then basic learning Spark and all. I don't think that will be helping them that much
Okay.
if they are starting it from third year or fourth year. Because most of the companies are hiring 3 years or 2 years of experienced folks. There
Yeah.
are very few openings as a data engineer. So even I know that in my current organization, there are freshers and they are working on this. They are, I'm work. They report to me, so they are doing all the migration work and everything. But they just know that this is the SQL code, and I have to just do. I have to perform certain tasks, but they
Okay.
don't know what exactly they are doing. So
Yeah.
this is one of, and they don't even want to learn.
Okay.
They don't want to know why. They
Hmm.
just know how they are doing it. They don't know why they
They
are
know
doing
the
it.
syntax
So
and
this
all,
is one
and
of the
they
things
know
that I see. Yeah,
this is the query, this is the syntax, and they don't know want to like why it is happening or
exactly.
internals of DBMS like that.
Why we are doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
why we are doing it. So this is somewhere. And if you ask anyone who is working as a data engineer today, I mean those people who are having 2 years or 3 years of experience, if you ask them what you want to do, they always say I want to go to ML, AI, and this side of the business,
Huh.
basically. So they are not sure, because I know that if you are a data engineer, AI engineer, you should be familiar with the fundamentals. What is primary key? What is secondary key?
Hmm.
If you're not aware about those, then yeah, you will be struggling to know the granularity of your data.
Hmm.
So I think focus on your basics, focus on your fundamental, do some projects. So that will help you, and do a lot of networking. That is the only thing.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So it was nice talking to you, Saurav. So yeah,
Same,
congratulations
Ganesh.
for your new role in Genpact, and I hope all will be fine there. So yeah.
Yeah,
All the best for your career and
sure, Ganesh. Thank
keep
you.
guiding the audience.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you for having me, and all the best for your new role also. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.